Hi, I'm Jimmy, and this is a coronavirus explained video. It's not like explaining the virology of the virus. There's plenty of other YouTube videos that have done plenty of research into that. This is more of kind of like an explanation of the timeline of how we got to where we are now, particularly in the UK, and, you know, just some jokes chucked in there as well for the hell of it. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy, and thanks for clicking on the video. Covid-19 has gone by many names. It started off as the coronavirus, and then as its career evolved, it became the virus formerly known as corona, and then simply represented as this symbol. Covid-19, or the virus formerly known as corona, started off in the Wuhan province of China because of a man eating an undercooked bat. China reported the first case of coronavirus in December of 2019, which was definitely the first time they were hearing about it as well. By January 30th, 2020, the World Health Organization declares a global outbreak as cases rise to 9,000 in over 18 different countries. But luckily, thank God, that gives the world the whole month of February, and it's a leap year, so we even get an extra day, or the world gets an extra day, to prepare for this impending pandemic, to get enough testing and enough personal protective equipment out and distributed to the sources that need it. All of this in an effort to stop what is called a fast pandemic, turn into a slow pandemic. A fast pandemic is when there is a high number of cases in a very short period of time and a high number of deaths, and the virus quickly dissipates throughout the population and leaves. Or a slow pandemic where there's few cases and few deaths, but it's a longer pandemic and goes on for a longer time, but ultimately the better outcome. The first one will be, is bubonic plague remembered in history. The second one is the mild case of the flu. So we get to March, and Boris Johnson is going to hospitals and shaking hands with everybody he sees, as if to make some kind of point. And that point was to see how quickly he could get ill. Italy is in lockdown by this point, and Dominic Cummings is outlining UK's policy at a party by saying, and I quote, "Herd immunity, protect the economy, and if a few pensioners die, too bad." So, as if a repeat of the 90s, the UK failed to treat its cattle, which in this case is what Boris Johnson calls the British public. So after enough people have started dying in the UK, this gives doctors enough leverage to be heard by politicians. And with the politicians listening, things start to escalate slowly. Really slowly. In the run-up to the lockdown, several things happen. Toilet paper becomes a precious commodity and rises to the price of gold. In the run-up to the lockdown as well, a lot of people suddenly became socially acceptable to be racist, Like my mate, right? He's not got a racist bone in his body. But then suddenly the pandemic hits and he starts avoiding Chinese people, which is really difficult for him because he's Chinese and lives in China. A number of racist attacks occur with people attacking Chinese people. Just any Chinese person, because that makes sense. Obviously, this has a massive negative effect on the Japanese, Malaysian, and all Southeast Asian communities in general, really. A phenomenon occurs across WhatsApp groups in the UK as at least 50% of the British population claims to have a friend in the Ministry of Defence and inside information on the coronavirus lockdown. A number of fake news articles start to appear, including coronavirus being caused by 5G networks. Washing your hands now takes 20 minutes, and dabbing becomes the most hygienic way of sneezing. The lockdown has also unexpectedly featured this man heavily across social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Click the link in the description to find out why. The UK goes into lockdown on March 23rd, which is a massive U-turn in UK policy. During this time, stay-at-home orders are into effect. People are now no longer allowed to leave their homes unless it's for essentials, food, pharmacy, etc., or exercise. They're allowed to go out once per day, and only by themselves or people they live with. Mass gatherings have been cancelled at this point, football events, every comedy club, every stand-up gig. Comedians across the globe have flooded to online platforms such as these to create their content and have a creative outlet. This has led to a global shortage in podcast mics on Amazon, so the situation is pretty dire. London, especially central London, where I live very luckily, central London becomes deserted, completely barren. There's no one here, and it's lovely.
I'm really enjoying it. It's great. It's fantastic. Just to not have all the noise. Didn't realise how much noise there was. I mean, I knew how much noise there was, but when you hear the silence, you're like, God. And this is quieter than most country places. It's very crazy. The birds are back. The air is, the local pollution has dissipated. It's gone. The wind and the local, whatever, the atmospheric things have blown all of that shit away, and you can breathe. It's absolutely lovely. So there's some positives as well involved, weirdly, in this pandemic, is I've got my city back in a very weird way. And I can breathe again. Breathing's nice, which is ironic because this pandemic affects your respiratory system. Every Thursday, people clap for the NHS, which is a fantastic initiative, and was not started by the UK government. A lot of people have criticised it for just covering up the fact that they haven't funded anything, which is very true. But this is started by some woman in Europe. It was absolutely nothing to do with the Conservatives or the Tories. It's just a phenomenon that's been adopted by the public. But yeah, I mean, we should do more than clapping, really. I mean, every Thursday, people should donate instead of clap, or every clap should be £1 more from a corporation. I don't know, something like that. That would be fun. Be a fun thing to do, wouldn't it? I was scripted, and now I've gone off script because scripting takes a lot of time. In other countries around the world, America has been going insane with people protesting outside with lots of people. Lots of conspiracy theories going on along there. All of them happen to be Trump supporters, obviously. And Trump himself, I mean, today, even indulging in recommending people to inject disinfectant like Sillet Bang is going to cure the disease somehow. It's just mad. Or light and heat. He calls everything else fake news, and yet he's the one reading the fake news articles. He's going to start recommending hypnotherapy to cure cancer. It's just insane. And disgraceful, and you've got the parallel opposite in Como there, becoming a very viable candidate for president with everything he's saying. I mean, I think he's basically who everybody is looking to in America at the moment to deal with this crisis, because they're looking at Trump and he's not coping with it. He can't deal with it. He doesn't understand what's happening. So they go, what the fuck? And they're fleeing like rats off a sinking ship. He suggests that everybody drinks bleach. What? And I'm paraphrasing, because drinking bleach is nicer, because he says inject disinfectants. Oh, God. A lot of people have been talking about the impacts on mental health as well. I suffer from mental health. It's in poor mental health. And this lockdown's been great for me. It's been refreshing. I guess it's not the isolation and stuff that gets me. I just don't feel like I'm competing with the rest of the world anymore. Even though I still am, I just don't feel it. It's not there as a pulsating thing in the atmosphere with the buzz and the hip-hop. Maybe I should live in the countryside. It's kind of freed me to be able to do things like this and to try out different stuff. And I understand that's what everybody's doing right now. But fuck it. I don't know if I can swear on YouTube, but I'm going to swear anyway. This has turned into a kind of a bit of a podcast rather than an explanation, but I'm just going to run with it. Okay, so I hope you liked my jarbled Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, my jarbled explanation for the coronavirus and how we got to this point we are now. It's not in depth by any means, it's mostly me trying to make jokes. But yeah, I hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. It would really help me out. Bye, see you next time. Stay home, stay safe. Oh, great, now that's over with. I can get a drink. Oh, now how do I turn this off?